An anecdote is a short and amusing but serious account, which may depict a real fake incident or character. Anecdotes can be as brief as the setting and provocation of a bon mot. An anecdote is always presented as based in a real incident involving actual persons, whether famous or not, usually in an identifiable place. However, over time, modification and reuse may convert a particular anecdote to a fictional piece, one that is retold but is too good to be true. Sometimes humorous anecdotes are not jokes, because their primary purpose is not simply to evoke laughter, but to reveal a truth more general than the brief tale itself, or to delineate a character trait in such a light that it strikes in a flash of insight to its very essence. Novalis observed an anecdote is a historical element, a historical molecule or epigram. A brief monologue beginning "A man pops in a bar" will be a joke. A brief monologue beginning "Once Edgar Hoover popped in a bar" will be an anecdote. An anecdote thus is closer to the tradition of the parable than the patently invented fable with its animal characters and generic human figures, but it is distinct from the parable in the historical specificity which it claims. The word anecdote comes from Procopius of Caesarea, the biographer of Justinian I, who produced a work entitled A 1/4 I 1/2 I plus or minus, which is primarily a collection of short incidents from the private life of the Byzantine court. Gradually, the term anecdote came to be applied to any short tale utilized to emphasize or illustrate whatever point the author wished to make. Qualification as evidence. Anecdotal evidence is an informal account of evidence in the form of an anecdote. The term is often used in contrast to scientific evidence, as evidence that cannot be investigated using the scientific method. The problem with arguing based on anecdotal evidence is that anecdotal evidence is not necessarily typical. Only statistical evidence can determine how typical something is. Misuse of anecdotal evidence is an informal fallacy. When used in advertising or promotion of a product, service, or idea, anecdotal evidence is often called a testimonial and is banned in some jurisdictions. The term is also sometimes used in a legal context to describe certain kinds of testimony. Psychologists have found that people are more likely to remember notable examples than the typical example. When used in everyday language, an important part in understanding anecdotes as a whole is understanding that the term depends on the situation in which it is used. Using a short story, or anecdote, to either introduce a topic or expand on one can enhance the unregistered trademark's chance of connecting with his/her audience or peer. The anecdote will relate to the subject matter the given speech or conversation is discussing. Two different instances in which anecdotes can be used: 1. At the beginning of the speech regarding underage drinking, the TA tells a quick tale about a teenager ending up in the hospital from drinking too much. In this case, the anecdote is being used to introduce a topic with a relatable story to draw attention and enhance. 2. A group of co-workers are discussing the different options of chicken for lunch. One co-worker tells a story about getting food poisoning after eating one of the choices at hand. In this case, the anecdote was used to expand and enhance the group's unregistered trademark knowledge of previously known options. See also. Notes. External links: the dictionary definition of anecdote at Wiktionary.